Well, hey, friends, how you doing? David Nuno here with TexAgs Rewind presented by Yeti. So, look, I'm going to bring a conversation that ended the show into the rewind space, and we're trying to figure out a song to close the show with if we wanted to change closing time. Closing time, like now I hear it other places. I feel like I got to wrap up what I'm talking about it. If I'm at like Walmart or, some place, Academy, let's use a sponsor. If I'm at Academy and I hear that song in the background, I'm like, we got to hurry up and buy. We got to go. What are some songs? I suggested the Nick, End of the Road, Boyz II Men.
It's fine.
It's a great song.
I haven't thought about it too hard.
Do you know that song?
Only, I probably have heard it. I just need to, I'm kind of like, I can't put the title to the song right now in my head.
Sorry about that. There was like a fake volcano or earthquake in the area, so we had to like edit because Nick forgot what he was talking about. Where were we, Nick?
We were talking about outro songs for the radio show. Cowboy Rides Away was my suggestion by George Strait. So if you got a suggestion, leave it in the comments below.
All right, now let's fix this rewind because right now it's a fast forward, not a rewind. We're going to fast forward through all of this. What do we have on the show today, Nick?
Well, UNOB talked about your big shots of the week. I had Trisha Ford, who starts play here in about 2 hours at the time of recording this at the SEC tournament. Hall of Fame writer Charean Williams, and we had former Aggie QB Edd Hargett.
It is TexAgs Fast Forward. Here are the interviews.
Well, I got to tell you, I don't know the stats, but it sure seemed to me that Trevor Werner had a huge weekend at the plate and in the field.
Yeah, hot corner.
Yeah,
he's there we go. There's the stats right there for you. 416, 1 homer, 5 RBI, 2 runs scored, 2 walks, and he's somebody that Schloss on 2 different occasions has mentioned this recent leadership that he's become a little bit more vocal.
Well, I think, if I'm not mistaken, I could be, because I'm not covering it. I'm just trying to keep up with it on the thread. But I think he also started a real key, 5-4-3 double play. I might be wrong on that, but I know he played pretty well, really well in the field. He always does.
He certainly always does. I've got another baseball name for you, but before we do that, one of my big shots of the week is Quentin Jackson.
I saw that. I'm so proud of him.
So, yeah, Buzz yesterday posted out there. There's the picture of Buzz giving him his Aggie ring, but he did get it. Q is just one of my favorite people to cover and talk to, and just so gracious. On Buzz's tweet, we were able to present Q with his Aggie ring this morning, a very special moment for everyone involved. Q graduated on time from Texas A&M and will always be a part of this Aggie network, and he puts, "I love you, pal," and he does.
Quentin was just one of the easiest guys to deal with and easy to root for. And of course, he gave you a lot of things to cheer for about, right? I once saw him at a breakfast place that I go to, and I said, "So you decided to come back?" It was that year when he said, "Yeah, because we're going to be doing this, and I'll be dang if they didn't do all that."
Yeah. Yeah, they certainly did that. The other one I'm going to do is Austin Boast. All right, so you brought up Trevor Werner.
Okay.
I'm going to bring up Austin Boast because he's another one that Schloss has brought up his defense recently. But Saturday in particular, he had those 4 RBIs, but that 3-run homer. Boast, I guess that's his first home run since March the 3rd.
Well, I mean, I think, obviously just fresh face, right? New ideas. But I think really what we've implemented is discipline and a standard. And so practice is hard. I love practice. I think every coach loves practice. And, I always say you get to play the game, and practice should be where your stress is. And I think our team has done a really good job of embracing us. They could have gone one of 2 directions. But they really yearn to be coached hard, and they yearn to be better, and they knew they had it in them. And so I think for me, it's very similar to parenting. When you have structure and standards, they usually turn out okay. And I think the other piece is, to me, I feel like we always hear, "Oh, I want to have fun. I want to have fun." Well, fun is not losing. And so you got to find the fun in the grind. And I said, when you grind out a game, or you grind out, I think of the Tennessee Saturday game, even our Georgia series where we're in every one of those pitches, like that's the fun. That's what you're going to remember. Our Ole Miss series, things got a little chippy. And I'm like, when you become old and you sit back and you are reflecting on your career, those are the things you're going to remember. And that's really what true fun is. And I, that competitiveness, I want them to chase that. I want them to chase, and I've said it before, I want them to chase greatness. Don't just be okay with being average. Go out there and be the best version, and whatever that looks like, but be okay with it at the end of the day.
A little bit of a surprise, I guess. I was reading out there on Pro Football Talk, for the first time in years, the afternoon games don't necessarily have a network tied to them.
Yeah, a little different this year. So some games will be on CBS, some will be on Fox, and you're just going to have to check your schedule each week to see where the games are on. So a little different twist to it. I would be willing to bet most of the Cowboys games are going to still be on Fox, but you're going to see some, probably a little more than you normally would on CBS. And then, they always play their 5 or 6 primetime games, and you're certainly going to see that again with the Cowboys, of course, with the way they draw. And another wrinkle to the schedule this year is a couple wrinkles, but another one is they're going to have a Black Friday game. So you have the annual Thanksgiving games. Cowboys will still be on Thanksgiving and all those things, but you're going to have a Black Friday game. So that'll be the first time they've ever done that. And, David, I really think we're moving toward the NFL playing on most days of the week. It's they want those standalone games because it gets such high ratings. And I'm not exactly sure how you do it, but we saw some of it in COVID with some Tuesday games. And, of course, right now, by law, they actually can't play on Fridays or Saturdays until, late November, I think it is. But I would suspect that they're going to try to move at some point. They may go head-to-head against colleges, which I think is a huge mistake. I think they to me right now, it's where it should be. We have plenty of night games to watch. It's several days a week that you get the NFL, and you just wonder if there is a saturation point in this whole thing. Are people just going to be like, I've had enough of the NFL. I'm not gonna watch 5 days a week or whatever it is. So that'll be interesting to see what they intend to do. Now, we're getting into the Monday night. We're going to have some flexibility with the Monday night game.
Well, the last play, and Texas Tech fans will appreciate this because every time you see them, they say, well, there was a penalty on that play. They should have called a clipping on Larry Steegen and all this. And I said, well, there was a penalty on that play. Y'all were offsides. We declined the penalty, took the touchdown, and won the game. But as we went up to the line of scrimmage and had the play call, of course, everybody was going out for a pass. We were on about the 15-yard line. And right before the snap, I saw the guy jump, and I happened to be looking at the referee and saw his flag come out. So I knew I had a free play and could do whatever I wanted to try to do. And luckily, all their players went to one side except one, and Larry Steegen blocked him out, and I got into the end zone for the touchdown.
Do you recognize football today? It's so different. I mean, the analytics behind it, the different defenses, the different size of human beings, the football that you play, the brand.
I think the biggest thing is the size and the speed. It's still the ones who tackle and best and block best. They're still the ones that win, and it doesn't matter how big and how fast they are. If they don't do their job, then you're not going to win the ball games.
So I answered the question for you, but was that the best memory of that season, or were there?
I don't think so. I think Texas being the main rival back then, and probably will be again here shortly. That I think beating them on Thanksgiving Day was the highlight because that did. And I've often wondered what would have happened because Texas had 2 losses, Texas Tech had 2 losses, and we would have had 2 if Texas had beaten us. So I don't know who would have gone to the Cotton Bowl.
In those days, was there a year that you had to switch the Texas game to a different date? Am I right about that, or am I getting it confused?
No, all of ours were on Thanksgiving
Always on
Day.
Thanksgiving, yeah.
So,
is that what you're hoping for whenever Texas joins the SEC?
Well, I think it's easier, better for the player. If you're winning, it's better to play on Thanksgiving on Thursday after Saturday. If you're losing, it's better to wait till Saturday. But, Thanksgiving Day would be perfect.
All right, Nick, turn on the teleprompter. Tell the people what to do because I know you need to read it.
Got to like, comment, subscribe, hit the notification bell, let your friends know about it. Follow us on TexAgs Radio, Twitter, and Twitter. I'm losing it.
Needed a teleprompter today.
I'm losing it.
He's Ron Burgundy. We'll see you next time on TexAgs Fast Forward.